Well, good afternoon guys. It is that time of week again when I go out and we'll play silly buggers, should we say, do an urbex with Adventures of Paul, who's lurking around somewhere hiding. Today finds us, as you can see in the background, one of the famous sites of Northamptonshire. You all know what it's called, I don't have to mention its name. We walked the perimeter, did not think we would come and find a way in, but at the front there's a little bush area. You go along there and we sort of found that significant thing where someone of my size could squeeze through, so we certainly did. Anyway guys, we're going to search there in the building above, but not only that, we're going to the Utilidors, which are below. They are eerie as heck. What I've seen in other people's vlogs, we'll probably start there, so let's go and do this. Right, we've made our way down into the Utilidors, so I'm going to continue off this way. Paul is not going to be too far behind me. Certainly got a temperature drop down here, guys. Looks like we've got a load of old bedding. Because basically when I'm turning around and saying that this is a Utilidor, it's like not a servant's quarter. See that light if I dip this down, just put that there as a marker to find our way back out if something went wrong. And your overhanging pipes, etc. And this is like a Victorian walkway, a Utilidor if you like, because what it would have been is to keep the servants out of the sight of those in the stately home above. It's sort of principle that Disney used when he bought Disney World, or made Disney World. It's actually on a first floor that you see, everything happens below that. Reason being, he did not want someone dressed up as a spaceman like Mickey Mouse walking into Frontierland and going on to meet and greet people. It sort of confuses the narrative of what that is, and so he created Utilidors similar to what this is. These themselves, these would be coal chutes, etc. Would have been kept for storage, linen services, probably a wine cellar, keeping cheese, etc. cold, because this goes post-dated the likes of your ice houses, which we've seen in other buildings themselves. What is an ice house, you say? That was a Victorian era fridge, and this predates that, so it would have had the facilities on site, aka what we're looking at now. In here, it would have been, this is probably more like a boiler area, workstation. That's a solid old door, and you can see they bricked it up before, but that would be postmodern, because when one side of it was probably not in use, they still maintain using a different side of it. A couple of really old cast iron bathtubs. Yeah, that's more of a boiler room, that area. Wonder how old that pram was. Generators, etc. That's another way in. Actually, I thought it could for one moment be a lift shaft. It did have lifts built in. Someone's left a welly. There we go, old workhouses, old chairs, paints, etc. Used as storage. Now, this would have been in pristine condition. You can see somewhere where the walls have been painted white. This would have been immaculate. It wouldn't have been filled full of the crud, full of the dust. This is what fire damage does. And you can see the damp on there. And you can see the cobbled floor from a very Victorian era. Pretty sketchy down here, to be honest with you guys, but we believe that we're alone. You see that? An old, very old workstation. Probably got a load of old tools, etc. all just starting to gather moss and rot its way. Old pair of Reeboks there with the sole missing. I've seen videos with people coming in here and they were right directly at the front. I've also seen other ones with them, I believe, hanging up there. It's a sign of something. I'm not sure what it is, whether it's a drug dealer sign or something like that. See, this is very much kind of what you'd have as a storage area for maybe dairy products, cheese, etc. if you didn't have an ice house. Old chairs, etc. There's plenty of rooms. The old light bulb down there. Solid old door here. The further we go in, the more damp it seems to get. And it's turned around and telling me clearly, well no, not, maybe not, that's what I was saying, it could have been coal. I think more likely a fire's been down here. You see the blackness on the floor, otherwise it'd be stained up the side of the wall, and it's not. But all these are little alcoves, which would have been used, and they're just covered now in fungi. What's that, mate? Oh yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? These old hatch down here. A lot of people do these videos, the actual building above us and this separately. I think we just throw them both together, to be honest with you. And this is the way I walked through earlier. Pretty expanse. Make my way further along the back here. Look at them old drawers. The way they just sort of curve in at the bottom. That is probably 19th century. Just decaying away. The problem is this place, you go round and round in circles and think, have I seen this bit? Have I not seen this bit? And you miss it. I do remember the glass, so we have been down there. Let's make our way further around. Obviously guys, if you are going to do something like this, like myself, come with a buddy, a partner. More of a modern fire alarm detail there. Old chairs, pipe works, door frames. People have scribed on there that they've been here themselves. Give yourself a shout out if you have. Say this was once a linen room or the lair of Iron Man. That is old. That is seriously old. Look where the power comes from. Again, probably early 20th century. Nowadays everything's built into the iron itself, but certainly not there. And these probably would have been, it's got pipes dumped in there, but it might have been rolls and rolls of linen. I might be totally wrong, of course. It just seems strange that it's all down here. But certainly servants' quarters. These are the old windows that have been stored in here. Sorry about the torch, guys. It's basically making a means of what we actually have at hand. More window frames. Old heating system there. Toilet seat and sink. Another hefty old door. It's just the doors themselves tell you how old the property itself was. There's certainly a ton of damp down here. Paul's made his way in there. I don't think I'll bother. I'm a bit too old and not steady on my feet to do things like that anymore. Real shame, because this was once what I've seen in other videos, a really nice retro telly, now just been trashed. This isn't people just tripping over it, people kind of giving it a good hammering. Same as a lot of stuff in here. trunks full of knitted clothing, maybe possessions of someone from, I don't know, the residential side of it that was here once. Some sort of old lamp on the top there. I believe that's like a fancy dress crown. I know many of you guys have been in here and seen it before. This is just kind of an update for you. Moss grown on the old cabinets, fire extinguisher, basin. But yeah, pretty cool. So I think it's now time to make our way back to the surface, because we are a good probably 10 feet under the ground. But it's seriously cool, guys. It really is. Keep noticing this white string everywhere. These are other explorers making sure it's safe to come in and come out. Some sort of plaque motif. I'll turn it around because it'd be written on the other side. There we go. If you can see that, guys. Maybe freeze it if you want to read it all. Beads, sewing box type of stuff. Well, all I can say is thank you very much, Quirky Tunnels, for adding to what hopefully is producing an amazing explore down here, because we've still got above to go. If I drop my torch now, that was my device to make sure we were safe down here. Just prop that up there to show the way. It's not a bad idea, it's just an old backlight off a bicycle. We make our way down, and obviously it's hanging up where them pipes are coming down, because you walk into them you'll know about it. But yeah, this was the kind of Victorian walkway. Really cool. One last look around this bit. Pretty much caved in, and that's just full of, they will be damp, filthy and full of all sorts of unmentionable muck, unfortunately, guys, so I won't be rummaging through that. I'll make our way back out. There's our way in. Basically you come down the corner there, sit on your bum there, shuffle down till you get to the steps, and you're in. Looking at it from the outside, it does look daunting, going down into the unknown, but when you're actually in here, it's not that bad at all. And this is, I guess this would have been where the coal chute is. I'm not 100% sure. That's got the shape of it, and there's certainly an element of soot down there. But again, it doesn't seem that much coated in here. Might be wrong. Time to see daylight. Pretty much part of the same video, but kind of part two, because we're now above ground, is what remains around this area, and this is going to be pretty sketchy, folks. A lot of people comment on the floor on how pretty it is. The roof there, ceiling, beautiful Artex work. Still a lot of wiring about, and that is one hell of a sketchy floor. We've done this kind of thing before, so we've just got to be extremely careful. First piece of sketchy floor done. As you can see, some of the floors have dropped down quite significantly, and it's a case of looking for where the beams are or were as you make your way along. Overseer's office. Overseer of what? And look up the top there. I can see you and you can see me. Yeah. So get yourself on camera. Got loads of doves. I'd say they're more doves than they are pigeons. Look at those ceilings, guys. That's not one floor, that's 2 floors above us, straight down. One false move, potential of instant death. And it's not the reason why we do this. There is a certain element of adrenaline that goes to it. Getting through that little hole area and underneath, that was fantastic, but you don't take silly risks. None of us do. Ton of broken glass, chairs that have fallen from the upper floors, and home to a plethora of doves. Pretty cool though. So we make our way through. See the noise the doves make there? It's pretty sketchy. Don't believe there's going to be much to see up this end. That floor does not look clever at all, so I'm not going to chance that. Just peer the camera around. Wallpaper peeling off. So they did have radiators, and this is our next way through down this corridor. Look at him up there. Hi there.
Oh, pretty,
is this your home? Sorry to intrude on you. We don't mean you any harm. We're just doing a little bit of an explore. So we'll let you be on your way. Try not to swoop on top of us. It's not very nice. And we'll make our way down here. As you can see, what would have been maybe a courtyard area, totally overgrown now. Trees actually growing through masonry. And just look up at these floors, guys. Up here, up there. We'll not go as far as the stairwell, but we will not be venturing on them floors because, as I said, that's a heck of a long way down. Just simply total devastation. You've got to be very, very brave or extremely stupid to walk amongst that lot. Corridor down that way. Nothing really down there, sorry about the flashing. But there is a stairwell right there. So I might be able, because the stairwell should be concrete. Someone's rode a bike in it. Okay, I had a green paint at once. That looks like possibly a toilet area, shower room. Old benches. Okay. Nothing much left of it. Right. Stairwell access. He says a few cabinets, more of a solid floor and footing here. A couple of what looks like fridge units. Heck of a lot of electrics in there. Might have a look on the way back down. But I just wanted to get up and have a floor. I said on any house this should be the strongest point. It's wood, but it's solid old wood. He says with every finger and toe crossed in his body as we make our way up, because it's a stake, guys, it really is. Won't be going much further. I'm just gonna maybe branch round the corner here, stand at the top here. Here we go. You can see just a sheer drop. So these are solid, he says. Walk on the beams and no further than that. This is about as far as we will go. Well, it certainly isn't about far, it is as far as we're going to go. Look at that drop. And the same, the floor above. We'll not be venturing any further. A lot of guys who've come up here have done exactly the same thing as me. But it's one of those things you've just got to see. It's a sight and it's a state. Old cabinet there. Load of chairs. Make our way to a safer level. Well, kind of. You still got to look what's hanging above you. Because it's a bit of a mess. This is what I called that bathroom area earlier, which leads to the outside. There was a urinal there, so probably office-ish. Back to where the bike tyre is. So I'm not going to make my way down there, I don't see the point. We've got to make our way back up through that lot, I believe. You can hear them pigeons, they really do your head in. It's like a horror movie, it really is. I think it's our friend that was sitting there on the way through. So we just come out from that door. This must have been the original courtyard. You can see the really fancy old style cobblestones, which would have led to some sort of entrance gate there, and this would have been maybe a reception area. New Testament Church of God. These are guys that once owned the property. If I remember rightly, it was the Baron and Lady Overstone that originally owned it. They had it designed for them, but they never liked it. Problem is, they wanted it to be something it never was. I think it was out of era. They wanted it to be something to resemble the Renaissance, but this is more neoclassical, so it's sort of like the same sort of time period, and you've got the romantic period as well, but it just did not fit the bill for them. They didn't like it. Maybe they should have gone Gothic. So they never loved it. They obviously, like everyone will do eventually, pass on. Then it was a girls' school. Then these guys here moved in for a period of time, and then they set up their offices, I think, further into Northampton. I think it had residents living here. Unfortunately, there was a fire. I don't believe that was a deliberate fire, which was, I think, perhaps 2001. And then it's been laying dormant since. There was another fire recently in the last couple of years, which mysteriously started. We do not know whether that is arson or whether it was an accident, strike of lightning on something that was permeable to fire. Looks like an old bouncy castle, probably a marquee, to be honest with you guys. Ventures a pull over the back there, and yeah, this is what we're left with today, and that is an old chandelier that, like many things, have just been trashed. This time I'd like to do a few quick shout outs. So shout outs to Exploring with Kev and Abandoned City Camo Crew. Sort of made contact with them recently. We sort of do the same sort of area, same sort of things. A couple of really nice guys. Check their channels out. They've been here and kind of showed me the way in. So did Exploring with Shano and his mate Chewy. Big up to you two guys. A couple of lovely characters. Check them out as well. They've been here. I suppose a lot of people have been here, to be honest with you. But that is it. Apart from that, big shout out to anyone in the community. Urbex This Is England. Any of your groups that do this kind of thing. And of course, most important of all, you guys, the viewers, those who make this all happen, all real. Without you guys, I'm basically playing with myself. So this must have been an office area. Floor is a bit sketchy, but look at all that paperwork. Why the heck did they leave all that behind? All sorts of things could be found in there that don't need to be found. It's one of those say what you see and see what you can find type of locations. Said I believe this was a once residential, or was this the office facilities? Maybe residential behind us. Storage room there, linen, etc., which turns around and says it probably was residential. We have, oh yeah, Kev had turned around and said you could smell the washing powder. You certainly can still smell the washing powder from this old appliance. Big old toilet there. What a weird setup to have a toilet there in the wall. I'd stand up and hit my head on that. Old, very old style sink. A lot of people love them kind of things. Christmas time once. Yeah, you see you got the telltale signs. You look in the bathtub there and around the toilet, these sort of apparatus. I know my sister had one of those. They help those who are elderly or have any medical conditions to sit down either on the toilet facilities or the bath. That's a decent conditioned shower. Expect that to be trash, but it's not. More stationery, folders, an old heater. What's that? Printer, brother printer at the back there. Well, that's not something you see every day. That, folks, is an actual lift. Service elevator. Or was it for the residents? I'd say more residents. And it goes right up there. So we get your Die Hard moment. I will not be climbing on any lifts. Back door over there. Doesn't look very safe walking through that way, neither does that way, so we might walk around the side and see what we can find. You know what, guys, it is what it is. So making our way across this rather bouncy beam. Pigeons fighting with themselves now by the sounds of it. They certainly put you on edge. No way through there. There is a door. It's another gutted area, toilet facilities. Just look, the ceiling falling down absolutely everywhere. So I believe the guy, his firm that took this on, really did have the intention of upholding it, but unfortunately he had that first accidental fire and then a second one which is a bit sketchy. We don't know, we're not too sure about, and it's just become too much for him, I would say, and his organisation. They're not going to throw money at it. I understand that. The world we live in nowadays, money is pretty much everything. But yes, I do strongly believe this place certainly could be saved, because you got the likes of Houghton House, which I've been to, and that was a damn sight older than this. And they've saved that and preserved it. The door has just come through. I think this just leads out the back. Kind of lucky. Just a pair of us here again. What is that? It's a solid old door if ever I've seen one. Back area. Noise of kids you can hear. There's another girls' school positioned behind this approximately. Oh, you can smell burning timbers from a long time ago, of course. This isn't just happened. This is probably when your second fire, maybe even the first one, took over. But that is pretty scorched. And again, severely damaged. It's pretty ornate. Now guys, I'm going to turn around and tell you, or say what I believe. Wow, this is seriously scorched. I'm going to turn around and say this would have been a function room, possibly banqueting hall, the kind of thing you get attached to a modern day hotel. Stage at the front there. Well, no, you know what, this is the first time in the whole time we've been in the building, either below or above, that we've actually smelt where a fire's been. Does that turn around and tell us that this here was all recent? Is it an ongoing problem? Who knows? A lot of people have climbed over a chair there, the chair on the other side, to get into this. We prefer to use a door. What have we got back there? I don't believe there's anything, but oh, this is seriously scorched. Seen some serious heat in here, guys. That was bricked up, so that was once an entrance. That certainly didn't do its job. But yeah, look at these walls. Melted the masonry. That's how extreme the temperatures got, and scorched the walls. And the poor blessed spiders. A ladder down there, and another ornate stairway that goes up to the top. Might have a look. And action! It's a no from me. It's a no? Yeah. Coming out of the function room. Found this little set of steps here. Oh, that's a bit tight going down, but let's see what we can do. This is, I believe, like the old express boot factory we went to in Northampton. They had one very similar to this. Just a tiny little room. And this should just be, well, I can see without the torch, get a torch on it. Power. Obviously in the time of COVID, the old mask up there, someone's come and paid a visit. But yeah, this is a, was that an old generator? Or your power supply? Probably for the entire building. One place where the floor is not so sketchy. Obviously the power's been knocked out. A few batteries left in it though. Someone's had a drinky booze. So as you take your walk up these stairs, thinking of different times, of course, back when this place was probably, to many of us, apart from the owners, stunning, and this would have been truly majestic. What a sight to behold. This area down the front here would have been perhaps a front lawn, maybe the ladies and all their finery sitting out there sipping afternoon tea, because of course this was 19th century, circa early 1860s. The kind of people you had here are the people that you see with a splendour and grandeur around the time of maybe the Titanic, as we went into a new century in 1912. Those who made their money, I think the guy himself, the original guy, was some sort of banker, and I don't mean that with a capital W, although most of them are. And his wealth went on to create what is now NatWest, or so I believe. Just look at that. Even in its dilapidated state, to many of us it seriously is still a thing of beauty. My first ever stately home that I've done an urbex on, never done anything of this size. This is like the pinnacle, the benchmark of this area. Everybody knows about it, everyone wants to do it, few do, and few like ourselves record it. Nature finds a way, guys. I dare say once this was a sea of colour, and now it is in its own right with the weeds. To think this place used to have an excess of around 120 rooms, probably more added on over time. It's just a shame we cannot get in the bell tower. It's bricked up tight. Absolutely zero sense in trying to make your way through this entrance and fighting your way through that lot. So many heavy weeds, especially this time of year. if you're going to do it at all and you want to go in that, you really want to do it in winter when all these stinging nettles, some of the brambles etc. are gone. But look at the beams in the background, big solid iron girders and huge chunks of masonry that have just simply fallen. Like many, I've seen this in loads of the videos here. I think simply the two sides have come in and squeezed up, holding that in place. And if you ever remember on Angry Birds, you see things that are sort of teetering on the point but never quite fall. It's like that. You threw something at it, I dare say it'd collapse. But it's really cool to see. Many have ventured into this place from the ruined side. I just do not see the point. Seriously dangerous this side. There was once some really ornate fireplaces up there. And look at that, even an old radiator. You see them all slightly different colour, all dotted around. So I've only come into this section because it shows us where the tunnel is, which is easy to find. Look for the coal chute. If I walk out of this way, I'll be able to show you. It's a well trodden path though, guys, so you're not going to miss it. You come round the side and you see this walked path all the time. But if you're looking at it from the front, everyone mentions the coal chute. That is the said coal chute there. It's around the wall here. In there, that's the access to your utilidors. Anyway guys, what can I really say? This has been truly remarkable. Kind of a once in a lifetime explore, if you will. We had this place to ourselves, not another soul about, maybe a few bunnies in the fields, and it's been good. It's one of those ones, you had the eeriness below, the sketchiness of walking through the rooms, the sound of the pigeons and the doves as they swooped in above you, and just the ambience of thinking of what this was like back in the day and what we're faced with now. This place hopefully will be saved. You can only hope that. There is a petition out to try and save it. Hopefully something can be done. And with that guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been my real pleasure. I'll see you in the movies. Bye for now.